Here we go. The second request that Bra, aka Steven, wanted me to do. The paid request. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie review, re-review, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, tier list ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, which I'll sometimes say Day of Raping, because this. Because I just want to make a stupid, un-PC joke, because I just want to rant and rage and be pissed off with how many times they take a character, I'll speak for myself, that I liked or that I love, and they take a shit on it, and they take it in the dumpster and sit on his face with their sweaty fat ass in 100-degree weather in the garbage, and then take a dump on it as if it was a German porn film or whatever, you know, do their fucking toaster strudel right into esophagus, have you meet the Hershey Highway Express, rub balls over faces that smell like they came from a homeless bum who needs $40 for McDonald's, 20 for him and 20 for his dog with 3 legs, who's pissed off at him because the bum ate the 4th one. Whether it be Captain Kirk with Star Trek Generations, whether it be Ellen Ripley and Hicks and Newt and Alien 3, whether it be Dante and Clerks 3, Burt Gummer in that last Tremors film. How many times they have to take the character and take his shit on it? I know there's talks of a John Wick 5, but until it's made, I'm still thinking he's dead. So John Wick is in that fucking pile too. And either way, I still think John Wick 4 fucking sucks. And then Lou Devereaux. You turn him into a wannabe Colonel Kurtz from fucking Apocalypse Now. I'll repeat what I said in Universal Soldier Regeneration Review. I understand that when you get the keys to a franchise, you want to do something different, because if you do the same thing, people go, what's the point of doing the same thing? That's already been done before. Being different means you to be ballsy, you try to go in different directions, and I get that. Trust me, I get it. I know Robert Zemeckis once said to do a sequel, you gotta do the same but different, but what does that truly mean? The whole damn thing is subjective. If you're too much the same, people do get pissed. If you're too different, people get pissed. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it's all in the eye of the beholder. You give me 5 ideas for unique, original, crazy directions of a Universal Soldier franchise. It doesn't mean I'm going to like all 5 of those ideas. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3. Doesn't mean I'll like all 5 that you shoot out at me of, we could do this, we could do that. I like Jason X because it was different. It was a goofy, fun B movie in space. A lot of people hated it because of that, among other reasons. You know, the cheap effects, visual effects, for example. But I still think that's a fun movie. I go, that's different. So I'm not opposed to a movie being different. And there are movies that are very similar. I like Another 48 Hours. One of my critiques is it's too similar of a movie to the first 48 Hours, but I like Another 48 Hours. So it's all, you know, in the eye of the beholder. Watching this again, there's 2 things that if you fixed, I probably would have liked this film. Not loved it, but liked it. 1, take away the ungodly, epileptic, seizure-inducing flashes. Thankfully I don't have epilepsy, at least not yet. But you watch this and the flashing lights, it's literally headache inducing. That I had to turn away from the stream. They do this 2, 3 or so times. Horrible. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. And number 2, I wish this was not part of the Universal Soldier franchise. If this was its own entity, and Dolph Lundgren played a different type of character, Van Damme played a completely different character, and it was just called Day of Reckoning, I probably wouldn't mind it. Because unlike the last one, Regeneration, I think other aspects of this film is better than Regeneration. It has an actual lead. It didn't feel like there was a lead character Regeneration, because Van Damme was barely in the first half. And then it's like, well, who are we supposed... Well, there's not really a central figure we follow. There's this guy named Burke. Oh, by the way, at the end of that film, I forgot to mention, for some reason, they cloned him, a bunch of Burks, which didn't fucking matter, because none of that is in this movie. The Burke guy. And it's the same guy, John Hyams, who made both films. So then why the fuck did you make this ending where this guy Burke is cloned, but then you do nothing with that? Not that I give a fuck, because Burke was maybe he realized Burke was a boring fucking character too. Just like me and other people thought. No one gave a shit about Burke. No one missed him. Because not one other fucking person who saw this film even thought of that. Because they didn't give a shit about him. Because they didn't remember him. Just like, who gives a fuck? Who's Burke? Aliens? No, that's Paul Reiser. It's a different movie. It's not that Burke. Carter J. But this actually has a lead. I liked Scott Adkins. I liked him in Ninja Shadow of a Tear, Accident Man, One Shot, Undisputed Sequels. I like Scott Adkins. I think he does well for what he's given. It's very, very gory, like a horror film. It's very bloody. It's very gory. And it's mostly, from what I remember, practical effects. Then maybe like a gunshot, like a headshot with a shotgun that's CG. But there's a lot of practical. I appreciate that. The fight scenes, I thought the fight scenes in this were much better choreography-wise. Because you got Scott Adkins. Most of them was with the pit stain, Andrei the Pitbull Arlovski, who's back in this film. He's more of an MMA guy, so he'll do some punches and stuff, but he's more of a grappler, MMA guy. Scott Adkins is more of a martial arts guy. There's some grappling and stuff, but it's much more athletic and more agility and just much more enjoyable fight choreography. And there's some really good fight scenes in this. And action set pieces. The look of the film, it doesn't have that murky, gray, dull filter that was in Regeneration that looked ugly as shit to watch. Here, it's colorful, and you can see, it didn't feel diluted with the colors. And I like that at times it felt like a horror movie. The first scene is a POV shot of Scott Adkins, like it was a damn slasher film. Only the POV is not the slasher, but of the lead character. But it is part of the Universal Soldier franchise. And with that, I fucking hate the movie and I hate what they did. So the plot of the film, since I'm like almost 10 minutes in, I don't know why I always say the time with that. I guess me realizing that I should have said this earlier, so I apologize. Scott Adkins, we see through his POV that his wife and daughter are murdered by a group of people. The leader is Luke Devereaux, who's bald And Van Damme, once again, Mr. Drowsy. His eyes are droopy. He has maybe 10 words or less in this movie. Eddie's he's in this less than he was in the previous film. He appears once in a while staring. He's in one scene where the Unisouls are fighting for fun or whatever, and they bloodied one up to almost goop, and Van Damme shoots him, whether mercy killing or whatever, and then pretty much at the end of the film. Like he's in this even less than the previous one, so he really doesn't have much to do, and he didn't have a very very drowsy performances. I don't even want to try to do this, Is the check here? Thank the check. I guess I'll drink it. Almost catatonic. Jesus Christ. But I thought about that in Regeneration. I'd be saying the same thing, just catatonic Van Damme. Van catatonic. Anyway. So Scott Adkins is knocked out, however you want to put it. He wakes up. He's told he's been in a coma for 9 months. And this agent says, "Do you remember anything? Was it this man?" Shows him a picture. This is Luke Devereaux. That's his name. And we're going to look into it. We don't know why he killed your wife and kid. If you have any info, anything at all, here's my card. Scott just gets out of the hospital, and he starts trying to piece together. Yeah, Scott Adkins gets out of the hospital, starts piecing together what happened. What happened? Why was his wife and kid murdered? It leads to him going to this strip club, and he's hunted by Andrei Arlovski. Him and the hooker, the strip club, the stripper, go a bit on the run and try to figure out why is he being hunted, why his wife and kid were killed, all this stuff. It leads to Van Damme. Dolph Lundgren's in the film. They're leading this cult of Unisouls, where they want to overthrow their oppressors, the U.S. government. Spoilers, heavy spoilers, because this film's from 2012, so heavy spoilers started now. You find out that Scott Adkins is a clone. The original John, Scott Adkins' character, was sent to kill Van Damme, but then Van Damme and his cronies have this thing where if they hit you in the neck and jet you, you'll snap out of it and you'll join them. You won't be controlled by the government, you'll be pretty much controlled by them, free. So the original John, was sent to kill Van Damme, got the injection, was sent to kill this guy, do these other things. And that's the one who the stripper lady knew. He's still somewhat under control, so he tries to kill the stripper lady, but the Scott Adkins that we know shoots him. He also realizes that he's got strength of his own because after a car chase and then this fight scene in a sporting goods store, he realizes he can do martial arts. He's strong as fuck as well, and beats the fuck out of Andre the pit stain with a baseball bat. Like the motherfucker owed him money. Eventually he goes and finds the Unisouls, and he finds out And I probably, when I first saw this, I misconstrued what happened because when I first saw this, it was so fucking weird left turn that I was just easily confused. But they do explain it. I think I'm just watching. When I first saw it, I just was like this. What the fuck? Really? What the fuck? This is the direction they're going in? The fuck? That was just discombobulated. What you come to find out is that Scott never had a wife and kid. They were fake memories. Kind of like what happened in, what was that movie? Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. We give you these fake memories to give you that someone you love was murdered, to go on the warpath and give you that extra motivation, which it did here. They didn't do that for the old Scott Adkins. They do it for this one. They give him the motivation that his wife and kid were murdered by Van Damme. He realizes they're fake memories, but when the doctors try to wipe out the memories, the pain in the memories makes him go insane, and he goes on a fucking warpath and kills everybody. Including Dolph, and including Van Damme. Van Damme pretty much lets him, saying, there will always be another John. Pretty much saying, there always, if you don't try to kill me, someone else don't try to kill me. So, now it's time for you to replace me, or whatever the fuck. And if I, being honest and fair, there is stuff I liked about the film. The fight choreography. I thought like the fight scene in Sporting Goods, really good. It's brutal. They're using baseball bats against each other, weights. Scott Adkins takes the baseball bat, hits the pit stain's head, and half the head goes off, like really bloody, gory, like a slasher film. Done practically. They have an earlier fight where some of Scott's fingers get cut off, and he takes something and cuts off the tip of the pit bull's foot. So one guy got his fingers cut off, this guy gets the tip of his toes cut off. It's very violent and very gory. Earlier, when the pit bull is trying to kill the Unisouls, this is when he's controlled by the government, he's killing everybody at this whole house, where I guess the Unisouls, they go there for their weird, unique sexcapades. Like one guy gets his hand nailed, because I guess that's a Unisoul version of a BDSM thing. Okay, that's different. And the pit stain kills them all. Again, bloody, gory, violent. Dolph fights him, kicks his ass, stabs him. Now he's not with the government, pit stain, now he's with the Unisouls. And then they send him off to get Scott Adkins. That's where you get the fight scene where the fingers of Scott and the guy's top of his foot cut off. Then there's a car chase, which is a pretty well shot car chase. And then the sporting goods store is a really good fight. And then at the end of the film, when he's going to town and at times trying to make it look like it's one shot, and he's either doing these maneuvers where he's taking people down, like he's a damn wrestler, like Hurricanrana, or I can't even say the fucking word right. Hurricanrana. Or sliding and take someone's feet off the ground and shooting and getting the shotgun. I think when he kills people with a shotgun, you see a bit of CGI. But at least it's shot where it's not too distracting. And he's fast with his moves. And again, really good. You know, Scott Adkins is exceptional as a martial artist. The bit with Dolph is fun. They're both shooting at each other, and Dolph just won't go down. He even does the line from the first movie. That's the spirit, soldier. Death scene's brutal. He gets shot through the neck. And when he falls, the Scott puts the machete and goes through Dolph's head. Then there's the fight with Van Damme, although I think some of it was doubles, or at least Van Damme doubles, but some of it was him. And they kind of evenly matched. And then Van Damme has the machete, holding it, lets it go, and lets the guy kill him. So again, there's how violent and bloody it is, and the action scenes are shot well enough that there's some good choreography, and I like Scott Adkins. Aside from, the stripper lady was kind of whatever of a character, take her or leave her. No one's gonna remember that fucking character. She's very forgettable. Not that yet the actress, just the way she's written, very forgettable character. Part of me's like, why was she even in the fucking film? She was pretty pointless, to be honest. Again, the epileptic seizures. And also, like, the story. This is what I said in the previous film, Regeneration. I get that you don't want to spoon feed every plot element. But it's a pretty tall fucking leap as a fan from the first Universal Soldier, since you ignored the return, to Regeneration. Well, how did Van Damme get here to here? He was fine at the end of the first movie, but now the reporter, she's never mentioned, and now he's in a psychological rehab, and after this many years, I'm like, what? It's even bigger leap. How the hell did he get from running away to wherever to now he's here, where at the end he's paying like Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now, and now he's leading Unisouls to fight the oppressors, and now Dolph, how is there another clone of Dolph? They cloned Dolph again. I guess they also cloned the Pit Stain. And it's like, so we're no longer really doing Universal Soldier, we're just doing fucking clones and shit. The idea is to bring soldiers back from the dead. That was the whole point of the program. Now it's just we gotta clone everybody. Even ends with a clone, because Scott gets the agent, because he was behind the whole thing. He gave him the fake memories, kills him. They have a clone of the guy, so he's going to be a sleeper cell. So I guess Scott Adkins is going to do the same thing Van Damme did. Which still makes me wonder, then why the fuck did he kill Van Damme in the first place? If he was just going to do the same fucking thing that Van Damme was, I guess, like, because of his... Like, he knows the family is fake, but he'll talk as if they were real. But he knows they're fake, but he'll talk like they're real. So he'll kill Van Damme, even though he knows the family was fake, so Van Damme didn't murder anybody. Or at least didn't murder the family. But he still don't kill the guy anyway. But then he's going to take over his job. And it's like, what the fuck? I hate this fucking story. That's the thing. I hate the story. I hate the direction they went in. I hate that Luke Devereaux, the guy I liked in the first Universal Soldier and the second film, he led to being a depressed, Mr. Drowsy, lifeless, soulless husk of a person with pain like a fucking mime, letting himself get killed. What a shitty end to that character. Shitty fucking end. If you don't give a fuck about the first film and you don't give a fuck about the character, then it's not going to bother you. I do. So it does fucking matter. Just matters too much. But it still does. Fuck that shit. I hate that shit. It's fucking stupid ass shit. That's just me though. So with that said, again, if you took out that it was a Universal Soldier film and changed a few things, I actually would have liked the film. But as a sequel, it fucking sucks, in my opinion. As a sequel, it does. But goddamn, man. They trash a lot of characters. Captain Kirk dies from a fucking bridge. Which, I mean, if you looked at the plot of Star Trek Generations, that none of that even needed to happen. Which I'm not going to get into. There's a whole other thing. Alien 3 I've talked about ad nauseum. Clerks 3 with Dante. Like, just so many fucking characters. They just throw off a fucking bridge. Hey, people die in real life. Really? No, I thought they lived forever. I'm going to try to live forever. Just to prove you wrong. Fucking... You know, people die in real life. No, I didn't know that. Tell me another story. Is water wet too? Did I fuck your mom as well? All these things are real and true. But anyway, if you like the film, that's fine. Again, there's aspects to like it and like more than Regeneration. It's just... I'm like, why is there another Dolph clone? Where did that come from? Why is Van Damme's character this? If I could kill him off. It's just a lame, shitty end to that character. It just... And then it's not going to lead... Like, you have this ending where... Oh, now he's going to send the clone of the guy and he's going to be sleeper. So it's not going to lead to anything because there's no more fucking sequels. Now, John Hyams, he's directed other stuff. He directed a drama, but I forgot what the name of it was. He also directed this film called Sick, which I didn't mind the film. I didn't mind it for what it was, Sick. But yeah, it's the story I didn't care for. The direction, the direction of the franchise. It was not my... I prefer the more goofy, silly Universal Soldier The Return. I thought that was fun. I thought Van Damme had life and energy to him. It was 80 minutes of just kicking ass and shooting bad guys and explosions and stunt work and, you know, sometimes not the best, you know, effects, but at least it didn't try to kill me by giving me multiple epileptic seizures. At least they didn't try to murder my ass. This film could almost murder your ass. If you have epilepsy, be aware, because you will die watching this fucking film. So, I almost died just watching these two fucking films. Almost had a stroke. Regeneration, Day of Reckoning. Rather fart on a snare drum. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.